Good evening, students. In this class, we are going to discuss one of the important poem that has been prescribed for the 10th standard third language English, called The Tiger and the Deer. And the present poem was written by Sri Aurobindo, one of the great spiritual leaders of India. At the same time, before going to discuss about actual poem, I would like to discuss about his life. Sri Aurobindo was an Indian nationalist and poet and philosopher and spiritual guru. He was born in Calcutta on 15th August 1872. Sri Aurobindo spent his formative years in England studying at St. Paul's and Trinity College, where he excelled in the study of literature and classics. He established an ashram in Pondicherry. He has been spiritual guru for many disciples. His main works are Life Divine, Synthesis of Yoga, the essays on Gita and Savitri. Now you can look at the picture. This is he is one who had written this poem called Sri Aurobindo. Now in this, if you are interested, you can watch. You can connect to this link and you can watch the video related to this lesson. Now here is the picture of tiger. If you look at the tiger, you can feel that it is very beautiful and majestic. At the same time, it is very cruel and it is very harmful to other animals. Here is another picture that contrasts that the picture of the tiger. Deer was a mild, harmless beauty. It is a mild, harmless beauty. It is a wild beauty. It is very attractive, but it had been constantly killed by the predator, the tiger. Okay, now before going to discuss about the poem, I would like to discuss some new words that appears in the text. The first word is gleam. Gleam means a gleam of light. Mighty means strong and powerful. If something is strong and powerful, we call it as mighty. Perter means disturb greatly. Pitiless means cruel and merciless. Fatal means ending in death. Perish means to die. Splendor means glorious. Okay, now in the very first stanza, the poet explains how the tiger attacks its prey. The tiger had been called as brilliant, and its crouches and slouches means it walks close to the ground and it positions itself. Its hind legs are almost unseen, and the forward legs are very eager to leap. Okay, what crept through the green heart of the forest? Silently, it comes out of the green heart of the forest. Here, the poet compares the forest to a green heart. Okay, and the tiger's eyes were almost gleaming, and it has got a mighty chest, and it got soundless paws. Its paws are almost soundless, but they are very grandeur and murderous. Okay, if you look at this picture here, it is positioned, it is crouching, slouching, and it is ready to okay, leap upon its prey. Its eyes are gleaming, and it has got a mighty chest, and its paws are almost soundless. The wind slipped through the leaves as if afraid. The wind is also afraid of the tiger, and it slips through the leaves lest its voice. The wind also thinks that its voice and noise will disturb the pitiless splendor. This pitiless splendor, so it is moving silently. So it is moving silently without any noise. Okay, hardly daring to breathe. Even wind is not in a position to breathe when the tiger is hunting, because it thinks that its voice will perturb it or disturb it. So the wind also slips through the leaves as if afraid of the tiger, If you look at this image, here the tiger is walking on the leaves and the wind is also blowing. The wind is almost noiseless, soundless, because the tiger is busy in hunting. Okay, it also afraid of the tiger and its movements. But the great beast crouched and crept, but the big beast, okay, which is the big beast here? The tiger is called as beast, okay. The great beast referred to the tiger, and it crept and crouched at last times. Slowly it goes and crept, okay, noiseless and fatal. At last it becomes very noiseless and it becomes fatal. Fatal means that ends with death. till suddenly death leapt on the beauty. It seems as if the death leaps on the beautiful wild deer as it drank. It is busy in drinking water from the pool. Then the tiger leaps upon the deer, and the wild beauty is almost killed. Killed. Okay. If you look at this picture here, the tiger is leaping. Okay. Now in this picture, you can look at that the deer was busy in drinking water from the coolness of shadows. Okay. It is drinking from a pool, and it is unaware of the dangers of the forest. Unsuspecting from the great pool, unsuspecting means doubtless, without any doubt, the deer is busy in drinking water from the great pool in the forest coolness and shadow. It is drinking from the in the coolness and shadow of the forest. Okay, you can look at this picture here. Deer is drinking water from the coolness and shadow of the forest. Okay, and it fell and torn, and finally what happens? The deer had been killed by the tiger, and it fell off torn. Okay, next what happens? Died remembering its mate. Okay, it deer dies remembering its friends. Okay, left soul means single in the deep woodland. Woodland refers to the forest. In the deep woodland it remains single. Okay, it had been killed solo. Okay, next, what happens? Destroyed the wild, harmless beauty by the strong, cruel beauty in the nature. In this sentence, the poet refers to the two animals. Destroyed, who got destroyed? It is mild, harmless beauty. The deer is referred as mild, harmless beauty by the strong, cruel beauty in the nature. Okay, the tiger is the strong, cruel, beautiful in the nature. Okay, the deer is mild, harmless beauty, whereas the tiger is referred as strong, cruel beauty in the nature. But the poet predicts that a day may come when the tiger crouches and leaves no more in the dangerous heart of the forest. He predicts that a day will come when tigers no more be present in the forest, and the deer will have freedom to drink uh, water from the cool pool. Okay, here you can look at this how it leapt on the deer. Okay, now as the mammoth shakes no more the plains of Asia, as we know that once upon a time there lived a creature by name mammoth, but it got extinct. Okay, by the passing of time, the mammoth got extinct, and we can no more see them. Okay, their entire species were being rooted out. Okay, in the same manner, the poet says that a day will come when the tiger will not creep in the green heart of the forest. Still then shall the beauty wild deer drink from the coolness of great pools. Now, uh, uh, after that, the wild deer may drink from the coolness of great pools in the leaves shadow. In the leaves shadow, in the shadow, in the shade of the leaves, one can drink water. The mighty perishes in their might, as we know that mighty means tiger, is strength. Okay, will be destroyed in its strength. Okay, it will die out of its own strength. The poet predicts that it is going to perish. Perish means to die with its own strength. This line means the deer survive the slayer. Slayer means tiger. Tiger is referred as slayer, and this line refers to the deer. Okay, a day may come when this line survives the slayer. Here you can look at the picture of mammoth. They once upon lived in Asia, but now they got extinct. They got extinct. If you look at this picture, in this picture it is clearly said that deer is called slain. Slain means one who got killed. Okay, the slayer is none other than the tiger. Okay, this is the brief summary of the poem called The Tiger and the Deer.